Welcome to 43, episode 43, I think.
Petty.
Yeah, the Richard Petty episode of the Flag to Flag podcast. If not, then it's John Hunter Nemechek, but it's fine. Welcome to another episode of Flag to Flag podcast with yours truly.
No, Kyle Petty.
Okay, yes. With yours truly, John, the motorsports enthusiast. And today we have good old Chad on as well, of course, always. Chad, how are you? It's been 20 days since we've shot a podcast. Last episode was on the 27th of May. So
that was our Indy 500 one.
It was.
And we've already had 2 more rounds of IndyCar since then.
We have. We're going to cover some other things, but how are you?
I'm good. If you can't tell, both me and John have been busy these past few weeks. Me, it's towards the end of my session here at school, so I've been nose to the grindstone with that. John's been being John. So
just being me, working.
Being you, working and watching racing. But yeah, right. It's been really good. John just figured out earlier why it's been really good recently. But
I have.
Yes. And yeah, I'm doing good. I'm having a good time. I'm excited to start going to the shootout. I'm excited to more quarter midget events. I was in New Jersey this past weekend. It was a fun event. Then and to figure out where I am this weekend, stay tuned for the Flag to Flag at the track after the local racing report. So, how are you, John?
Good.
What have you been up to?
Good. Oh man, just working a lot. Working on a website project right now.
Nice.
Got over 10K on TikTok, which I was very excited about. Very excited about.
I almost unfollowed you just to make it a little harder.
Oh, I would have blocked your ass in a heartbeat, bro. Been like, why did I just lose one? Wait, let me type this in. Of course it'd be Chad. Blocked.
Yeah, of course it's me. You kidding me?
No,
yeah.
I've been trying to work at that for a while now, so now
that's congratulations.
Thank you. Now we're just keep on going, keep on rocking. I've been pumping out the TikTok content like crazy.
Dude, I've been seeing it. It's been insane. Yeah. It's like almost every day. It's like, what is it, like 2-3 a day?
Yeah, 2 or 3. Yeah, because after 10K you start to get monetized, and so that's
John's gonna start making money off this. There we go.
So that's a goal. That's a goal. So we'll see what happens. But either way, yeah, just been working a lot. Had a leak in our office. Fixed that. You know, I'm handyman over here, handy manny.
There you go.
So
I mean, good on you for being handy. I mean, is the house okay?
No, it's fine. Yeah, it's good. Yeah, it was just a shingle that had some screws that somehow created a leak, went through the light fixture, dripped right on my floor by my desk, and I was like, you got to be kidding me. But went up in the attic.
At least it wasn't like on your desk with like papers or anything.
If it would have been on my desk, it would have probably got on my computer. I would have been just shot. Everything would have been shot. But no, it was fine. It was good. So been working hard, pumping out content. And now we are here. We are recording on the 17th of June, and we are in the midst of all seasons. Formula One, NASCAR, IndyCar, WEC, IMSA. I mean, everything is just going.
Anything and everything. Right?
Going. So let's dive into the first topic. We're going to talk WEC, World Endurance Championship, the 24 Hours of Le Mans. I stayed up for 21 out of the 24 hours, which was...
You said you were going to go all 24.
So I was thinking about this. I was like, you know what? It was so early in the day. It was a 9 to 9 race, so 9 a.m. to 9 a.m. So it was a little different than the 24 hours of Daytona at the Rolex 24 because the Rolex 24 finished in the afternoon. So it was a little bit easier, but I was like, I got to sleep. So I slept at from 2 to 5. And the good thing is the night transition is at 2 o'clock our time or 3 o'clock our time. And then it ends at midnight. So you see the day to night day here, and then you see the night to day transition late at night, which is what I love because that's when all the fun happens. So let's watch that. But Ferrari did it again, 3 in a row with the customer car, not with the Ferrari AF Corsa. They finished it with their customer team, the yellow Ferrari. But news came out today, and I haven't made a video on this, that the number 50 Ferrari, who finished in 3rd, actually got DQ'd because of a bolt that was not on the rear wing. And so, not sure if that fell off in the 24 hours, but they failed post-race tech. Doesn't change anything because their teammate finished in 4th, so it just promoted them to 3rd. From a point perspective, it literally doesn't change a thing. That car just got DQ'd.
And with something like that, like if it was a quick sprint, that'd be a little weird. But a 24-hour race, I mean, shit's gonna come loose.
Yeah, and that's what I was curious about. Yeah.
Did you see? Sorry for interrupting. Did you see the pre-race to Le Mans, like the race before Le Mans, one of the support races,
where the Ferrari guy
got out of the car and started punching on the window? I was like, "Is this in Europe? Like, are we finally getting a fight in Europe?"
We are. Yeah, that dude was livid. Ran across the track, started beating the dude's windshield down. I thought it was exciting. I mean, that's what's going to happen with Ricky Stenhouse Jr. and Carson Hocevar here soon. We'll talk about that later.
I want it to happen so bad.
Yeah. But overall, Ferrari won their third 24-hour Le Mans in a row overall in the hypercar class. In the LMGT3s, it was the Manthey First Form Porsche that got it done, beating Ferrari. And then in the LMP2s, you have the Inter Europol number 43 winning, but also the big fan favorite in America, at least, the AO by TF car Spike, the dinosaur, or technically the dragon, finishing third. So that's a fan favorite. No, not a Porsche. Did I say Porsche?
I'm thinking of Roxy.
So there's three. So Rexy is the green Porsche. Rexy's the green Porsche. Roxy is the pink Porsche, and you have Spike, which is the dragon. That is the prototype, the LMP2. So they finished in third. Really cool there. But it was a long race. It was a good race. It was very, very not basic is not the right word. Not a lot happened from like a weather or a wreck perspective. So there was a lot of on-track action, which is somewhat atypical. Typically, it always rains at Le Mans, or there is a chance, but it was completely clear skies.
Really?
Pretty clean race. It was you had your drivers that got that didn't finish because it's just a long race and that just happens. But overall, I mean, it was very clean from a weather perspective, from a driving perspective. Nobody going out there and beating somebody's window down. But yeah, Ferrari got it done. And so, like I said in one of my videos, the Italian national anthem, we can finally sing it in something in motorsport because it's not happening in F1. But yeah, so the next 24-hour race, because it's the June 72. This weekend is a 24 hours of the Nürburgring, which is a totally different beast.
Nürburgring's this weekend?
It's this weekend, yeah. I'm not watching. I'm going out of town. I'm going to Missouri, so I'm not gonna. Yeah, I'm going out of town for my grandparents-in-law. Yeah, we're not pausing this. We're going. We're keeping on going. We're going out of town.
Okay, I was about to say I didn't know you were. Okay, I thought you were. I was like, you're a weekend late. Who was in Missouri this past weekend?
Oh, IndyCar?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I was confused. I was like, I'm a week late for what? Anyway, I don't know what you're. It's so confused. Anyways, so yeah. But we'll not be doing that. But we'll be watching that, and then you have, I think it's the 24 hours of Spa. No, I'm wrong. There's another one I can't remember. I always forget the third one. But either way, we have the 24 hours at the Nürburgring.
We've already had Daytona. We've already had Le Mans. We got Nürburgring coming up.
And then there's, I want to say, hold on. I just got to do research.
Big ones.
Yeah. Well, then the last one, hold on. 24-hour races in June. Let me see. 24 hours Le Mans, 24 hours Nürburgring. Yeah, no, it's a 24 hours of Spa, June 28th and 29th. I'm gonna love that one.
That was a 24-hour one.
Yep, it's a fun one. So it's gonna be fantastic. Love Spa, love the Nürburgring, and we'll be watching Spa. We'll probably be tuning into the Nürburgring this weekend, but yeah. But on a IMSA side or on an endurance car side, really the only thing coming up this weekend is the 6 hours of the Glen in IMSA, and so there's that endurance race. But the 24-hour Le Mans is over, and that's about it there. So let's move on to IndyCar, Chad, where
we have, and what a past 2 weeks we've had.
I mean,
the past two races.
Yeah, the past two races have been wild. Detroit and then Worldwide Tech. And the big thing with Detroit was the fact that the huge wreck with Foster. I mean, just breaks,
Yeah.
I mean, back.
It looked like the suspension component failed. Yeah. I'm very happy everyone involved, Louis Foster and Who was it? Was it? It wasn't Rasmussen.
It wasn't Renus. Wasn't Renus VK. Man.
Wasn't Lundgaard.
No, I can't think of his name.
Wasn't Kirkwood because he won the
Rosenquist. Felix Rosenquist.
Rosenquist, yes. So Felix Rosenquist. Glad they're both okay. Alex Palou wrecking out.
Well, he got punted into the freaking wall. I don't know if you saw the replay. He got hit from behind.
Yeah. You're right. That was a few weeks ago. Yeah, he got punted into the wall by one of your guys, by Prim.
Hey, if you can't beat him, wreck him.
Hey. Yeah, but
yeah.
All in all, I think what was it? Detroit was both different but just as good as it's been in years past.
Yeah. It was a good race.
Usually we're used to Detroit being a damn wreck fest.
Right.
It wasn't a wreck fest. We had a good bit of calamity, but it wasn't a wreck fest, but at the same time, it was still fantastic racing. Strategy played a massive role into the race, which I thought was amazing. And yeah, it ended up, Kyle Kirkwood coming up on top, and we've had some amazing racing this year at some of the best tracks, and we have only had 2 winners this whole in the 8, 9, 10 races we've had so far this year.
Yeah, only 2 winners.
Following Kirkwood. And then we go to St. Louis, Worldwide Tech, and it looked like the New Garden show. I remember I was on a plane. I landed. I checked my phone. I checked the app real quick. It said New Garden was leading. I was like, hell yeah. Hopefully we're going to be able to make it happen, And then I remember I put my phone down for a second, and I got a text on my phone. It was either you or Jesse. Hold on.
I think it was me.
It might have been you. Let's see here. Someone.
Yeah, I think it was me.
It was John. Joseph just flipped at WWT. Me. WTF. No, Jesse. He was leading too. Really bad wreck. He's fine, but really bad. Yeah, I remember I immediately pulled up on my phone trying to find the wreck.
Yeah.
That's one of those hard ones.
It sucks. It sucks because
you can't get mad at if you're a New Garden, you can't get mad at Foster.
Oh no.
You really can't get mad at yourself. The only person you can kind of get mad at is IndyCar. But then again, on IndyCar standpoint, it looked like he was going to gather it up, and then he started spinning again right in the path of the leader, and then the leader just goes flying through the air.
Yeah, he just made a wrong decision, but it because it has a New Garden and zagged when he should have zigged, and next thing you know, he's flying through the air. And they said on the broadcast, thank goodness he didn't land on the damn pit wall and fly over the pit wall, because
that would have been even worse.
That would have been bad. But the halo did its job. He's safe. I was worried about his wrist. I don't know if you saw the replay, but his wrist kind of got caught behind the wheel as he was flipping. And so imagine if my hands here, it's like his wrist got caught here. And I was like, oh no.
Did you see the in-car?
Oh yeah.
New Garden?
Yeah.
The sparks so close to it's insane for me to, but everything does its job.
Yeah, it does. And he walked away.
Everything did job. But let's look at the points for IndyCar now. I don't have it pulled up. We were very less. We got, what's today? Today's the 17th. So this weekend we are going to Wisconsin, Road America, for the XPEL Grand Prix at Road America. One of my favorite tracks. It's got a little bit of everything at that track. It's got high speed corners. It's got technical parts. It's got elevation change. It's got a little bit of everything.
Yeah, it's a great track. I love that track so much.
But looking at the championship standings right now, Kirkwood, even though Palou and Kirkwood are the only 2 cars that have won a race this year, Palou is first. Kirkwood is third in points.
Yep.
Palou has been racking up not wins, but yet consistent finishes. Now, Palou currently has a 2-point lead over Kirkwood. Palou,
2-point
or
lead?
not Palou, Pato, my bad. Pato has a 2-point lead over Kirkwood with 262 points, and Kirkwood having 260 points. and there's a 73-point gap between O'Ward and Palou. So I don't know where Palou ended up. He didn't have the best race.
No, he didn't have a great race. I'm looking back at I'm actually looking at the schedule right now. So the full
You are 16th in points. Jesus.
Yeah, no, his playoff hopes are done. Or championship hopes are done. Yeah,
I was about to say there is no playoffs in IndyCar.
Yeah, Palou finished 8th. I mean, but when you look at the results, I mean, Rasmussen podium, phenomenal, great drive from Pato O'Ward, and a lot of people don't realize how good Pato is. In the last now 7 races, he's finished 6 out of the 7 in the top 5, and now 4 out of the 7 in the top 3. So O'Ward is an oval driver. Kirkwood doing a phenomenal job.
He's been
there.
O'Ward's been proving he's an oval driver even at Indy. I mean, he has had top 3, top 5 finishes all like the past 5 years. You know,
yeah.
He was even a contender to win at when we went to the 500 this year.
Yeah, he was. He was.
You know, so it, but yeah, you know, it is really exciting. But yeah, let's go ahead and look forward here to what is it? To Road America. Who you got?
So I'm looking through some previous winners now. There hasn't been a repeat winner, I think, ever. I'm looking through this. Yeah, there has not been a
Power won last year.
Yeah,
wow.
There has not been there hasn't been a repeat winner since Jacques Villeneuve in 1994 and 1995. So I'm not thinking there's going to be a repeat here. I'm looking through the list. Scott Dixon at the top with Joseph Newgarden, Alex Palou, Will Power. I mean, those 4, it's hard to not say Alex Palou, but with Newgarden's history at a Road America, I wouldn't think he could be too far off. I really don't know because I haven't looked at anything. If I'm going to pick a winner, I mean, I'm going to pick a driver who has won, I mean, the majority of the races this year. I'd have to go with Palou just because the strategy's there.
Yeah.
It's hard to bet against him. But again, Kirkwood has been able to be the only really true contender to actually win a race. I wouldn't be surprised, though, if Newgarden came back and got a win or finished at least in the top 3. I'm going to have to go Palou at this point without looking at it, literally anything to go completely blind. He has won here before, won here in 2023 and 2021. He's on this odd year trend right now, it looks like. So I'm going to go Palou. Alex Palou to win. Who's your pick?
You know, honestly, my pick to win is difficult, but I'm going to give you who my podium is. I don't know what order they're going to be on the podium, but this is what I think my podium's going to be, and I think it's going to be the top 3 in the points right now. I think...
Fair.
You know, obviously you got to put Palou up in there, but, you know, now we're starting to see that there's, like, this year, oval races and road course races aren't going to play too much of a difference here. Both drivers have won on ovals this year. Both drivers have won on road courses this year. Both drivers have won on street courses this year. I think we are going to have a championship battle between Palou and Kirkwood at the end of this year, unless O'Ward keeps having those consistent finishes, maybe knocks off a few wins. Who knows? O'Ward might pull something out this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, very true.
Yeah. So I think it will. I think it'll be interesting. If I had to choose one, I would probably have to go Palou as well. But yeah, you know, I think it's going to be a battle, and I think it's going to be one of those 3. Or someone else who doesn't wreck.
Yeah, really, for real.
A lot of this track also provides a lot of action. This is another reason I really like this track. It's another reason I wish NASCAR would go back to this track. You know, but yeah. Speaking of road course racing, we've also had a handful of good road course races over Europe and North America as well with Formula Uno.
Yeah, really quick. Going to say the Grand Prix at Road America. That is going to be June 22nd at 12:30 p.m. Central, 1:30 p.m. Eastern on Fox. So, all right. Now let's pull up to talk about Formula One. So, the Formula One Canadian GP. I made this prediction earlier this past week that potentially George Russell and Kimi Antonelli would be on the podium. And
They updated their website. Did you see that?
A little bit, yeah.
I'm sorry for interrupting. I just saw this. I'm like, wow, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good. I think it's been decent so far. Been a little bit easier on my end. But looking at the Canadian GP, you had a race that wasn't too unexpected once you saw how fast the Mercedes were. And I mainly said that the Mercedes were going to be fast because it looked like it was going to be some cooler conditions, which it what
I'm looking at the final standings right now. I mean, we can finish talking about what you're talking about, but let's not overlook Alonso, Hulkenberg, Ocon, Williams, all in the top 10 receiving points.
Yeah, it was a wild race.
A Sauber, a Haas, and a Williams, all in the top. Like, Aston Martin, they have their moments. Sauber, Haas, Williams, teams that are barely fighting to get it, and it keeps going from there. 11th, Oliver Bierman in a Haas. All right, 14th, Kick Sauber. I mean, they're not at the bottom. Well, Albon is, but
well, yeah. So the way that the race played out and the way that this weekend played out with Mercedes going back, it was a cooler weekend, and I knew that was going to be in their favor when it comes to this. I just didn't know they were going to have this much pace, and the race ended up being a little bit hotter than we thought it was going to be, but it didn't really seem to change much. But really the big things to look at after this weekend's race were a couple things. One, McLaren is beatable, for sure. Max is still going to be Max. Ferrari's strategy woes still continue. And Williams still proves to be fast.
I kind of hope that never goes away.
I hope it does. I hope it does.
I know you hope it does, but I hope it...
Come on.
I know you hope it does. I don't, because I just love it. It's hilarious at times.
It's so frustrating. Like
believe me.
I literally sit on my couch and question my sanity because I'm like, why? I literally, in my head, this is a perfect example. This weekend, a Ferrari strategist were like, we're going to go to plan B. Leclerc was like, I think we should do plan C. They say copy. That means, they're probably going to go to plan C, right? No, they go back to plan B. Then Leclerc's complaining the whole time, like, why the hell did we do this when we could have done that? Why did we zig instead of zag? And there's arguments that he could have won this race, depending on how the strategy played out. And I think it could have gone his way. But the big thing is that we want to talk about is, I think obviously Mercedes winning, Russell getting the win. Yeah. They're going to a track next week, or not this week, next week, to the Austrian GP where they won last year. And also Kimi Antonelli got his first podium, which is fantastic. But Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri, this little battle here, I think, even though it was unintentional, I think it's reached its peak. I mean, Lando...
Really?
Well, it's peak of...
I think we're still inclining here, bud.
Well, I think we're reaching at the current peak. We may keep on going. We may transcend. Okay, we may we may keep on elevating this shit as we keep on going, but I can't believe Lando made that move. I don't know if you saw the move. I just can't believe he made the move.
I did. Zach Brown said that he thinks he was distracted by a marshal on the wall, and I'm like, what? Like, okay, and this kind of goes, do you know one thing that's still in Formula One that doesn't make sense to me?
What?
Pit signs.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't make sense to me. They're going so fast, and they can relay that information over the radio.
I don't know. I mean, maybe it's just because there is some specific... I mean, I don't know, but it might be because there's radio that you don't want to be communicated across because other teams could potentially hear that. I don't know. But yeah, no, I agree. But I mean, this weekend though, I mean, that was a spicy moment, dude. Oh.
I don't doubt it. I think it would have been more spicy if Norris didn't just be like, yeah, that was my fault.
Yeah, I was just curious how he was gonna say do this, because I was like, okay, was he gonna say Piastri pushed him? No, I don't think he would have, but I mean, he could have. It's interesting to see I'm curious, the real question is, what is this going to do for Lando moving forward? Because this has been the worst result that he's had. And probably because of the fact that it was with his teammate, this is just elevates and escalates this whole situation. What can this do to him mentally? What is this going to do to him going forward? Can he bounce back? Because we've seen he's been the one McLaren driver, the Lando fans are going to come after me when I say this.
Lando fangirls.
He hasn't been able to bounce back from adversity as well as Oscar has. Granted, Oscar has had less adversity, but again, this situation, we haven't had this situation with with Oscar and Lando having an incident, really. I mean, this is the first true time where we've seen Lando out of a GP because of something with his teammates. So can he bounce back? That's the question. Can Lando bounce back, Chad? I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
I mean, he's got the car to do it. We know he's been able to win races. We know he has the skill to do it. Does he have the mentality to do it? All right. Is he going to have that mentality like, I can bounce back from this, you know?
I think he has the capability of it. Whether it happens or not is a thing. I think he could do it. But I just...
Statistically, it won't. It's not. Statistically, all drivers in the championship still have a shot at the championship.
Yeah. Yep.
Statistically, that's still a thing. So it's interesting, but I agree with you. I do not think Norris has been able to bounce back as well as Piastri has been able to. But moving forward from that, I think there's a big thing we need to talk about here. The 2026 schedule and I have some opinions about this, John.
Go ahead, get on your soapbox. Get on the soapbox. I'm ready.
Okay. All right, here we go. Let me find it real quick. Because I want to make sure. So, first off, where is it? Hold on, I can't find it now.
So
no, here it is. Okay.
Go to where it says schedule in 2026.
Here we go. All right. So, starting the year off the same. All right. We go to Melbourne, March 6th through the 8th. Shanghai, 13th through the 15th of March. Suzuka's 27th through the 29th. Move into April. Sakir, Bahrain, 10th through the 12th of April. Jeddah, the 17th through the 19th. And then we go to North America. Wait, hold on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, let's scroll down a bit more. Maybe it's moved in the date. Nope. They took off what is, in my opinion, one of the best tracks on the schedule. Imola.
Yeah.
I mean,
as an Italian fan, I could say, yeah, I see. Go ahead.
I think it provides good racing, especially when weather plays a factor. That's one of those tracks where weather plays a factor. It ends up being fantastic racing. All right. However, there's probably some politics or whatever behind that makes it can't put on there. Okay. I can stand for that. There's one thing I cannot stand for. John, you know where I'm going with this.
Mm-hmm. I'm fully aware.
They Formula One has officially and I'm saying they have officially ruined the greatest day in racing. For those who don't know, the greatest day in racing is always the Sunday before Memorial Day. All right? It's tradition. You wake up, you have breakfast, and you watch Monaco. You eat lunch while you're watching the Indy 500, and you eat dinner while you're watching the Coke 600. Well, guess what? You ain't going to have shit to watch now while you're eating breakfast because they moved Canada to the Monaco date.
Yeah.
Which runs the exact same time as the Indianapolis 500.
Would have been an hour 15 difference.
Still, you can't.
Sure. No. Absolutely.
Like, I remember us talking about this in Indianapolis or a few weeks ago, and I said, in order to keep this as the greatest day in racing, put Silverstone at that date.
That's a good one.
Put Silverstone at that date.
That's a good one.
Silverstone holds the weight of that track, of that day.
Yeah.
Monaco. Monza, I'd even argue, holds the weight to be in that day. I'm sorry, Canada, we saw it this year. We saw it last year. Canada produces fantastic racing. It doesn't hold the weight that Silverstone, that Monaco, that all these other tracks that possibly could do.
Mm-hmm.
Which, yeah, there's my little spiel. What are your opinions on, first, Imola not being on the calendar as an Italian racing fan?
Yeah.
And this move-in date.
So Imola not being on the calendar, I think it'll come back. It hasn't been great from an overtaking perspective. So like it's like kind of bittersweet, but also like it hasn't been the best. I think it'll come back though. At some point in time. Now, when it comes to this whole Canada Monaco thing, the significance of what Monaco brings from a historical perspective is what carries it for sure. From a racing perspective, though, it's dog shit. It's not good because and this is what I think. I truly don't think F1 really cares about IndyCar or really even cares about NASCAR or really cares about this day. I really don't care about. I really don't. Which I don't. I mean, I don't see why they would really necessarily. I'm trying to play like both sides here.
Formula One is the FIA's golden boy.
Yes.
All right, they're the favorite child, and they make sure that everyone else knows it. And anything other, WEC, WRC, anything else below that, Formula E, Formula 2, anything else below that. Doesn't matter.
Right, for sure. But also we have to remember here, which is true. NASCAR nor IndyCar is part of the FIA. So if that was the case, then it may be a little bit different, but they're not. And so when I think from a racing perspective, action on track, it's a good move. Like anything is better than Monaco because if you qualify first or qualify second, you're going to have a 70% chance to win the race. I mean, it's astronomically high, which people don't want to watch. I mean, people want to watch because of historic, and I like watching because they're so close to the water and how close the corners are. But from a racing perspective, people want to see action. It does not produce action. They try to two-stop. It doesn't work. So
it produces carnage.
Yeah, really. I think, though, with Canada moving to this time, I wonder if they will move it earlier. Because they can. I don't know. Because this past year's race, it was at 1 o'clock. This past year's race was at 1 o'clock, and so 1 o'clock Central, 2 o'clock Eastern. And
what time was Indy this past year?
Technically 12:45 Eastern, so 11:45. So it's about hour 15 difference, hour 30, hour 15. No, it's not bad. But again, you're going to cross over. You're going to have that crossover because it's not Formula One, then IndyCar, then NASCAR, So, overall, though, it does kind of suck. I think they need to have I think a Silverstone would be a great option, or a Suzuka, which it doesn't really fit in the schedule there, or even like you could have Spa, I would say. I mean, some historic track. Monza would be cool. Monza would be really cool, like you say.
A track that one works within the time schedule and two holds the same amount of significance as Monaco, as Silverstone. Yeah.
And maybe even like Brazil, Sao Paulo. I mean,
but I feel like that would also be a time constraint because it's still within North America.
And that's the thing is you're fighting against that time constraint. Overall, it sucks that Monaco got booted, but from that time. But maybe Canada can step to the plate. We don't know what the timing's going to look like. We don't know how that's going to be. But you know what this does do, though? This does open up the door for a double, if it ever would happen, which I don't think it would because of the regulations and the super license points and what you would need. But now with Canada being there, you could have somebody go run the Canadian GP, be done about 3 o'clock, take a plane, helicopter from there to Charlotte. You never know.
That ain't going to happen. Daniel Ricciardo's not in Formula One anymore. That's not going to happen.
You never know. Maybe Fernando Alonso?
No.
Maybe depending on who goes up to race for Cadillac.
the only way, possibly, the only way I could see this be moved is if they put the race early in the morning.
Yeah.
Or like really early in the morning. And we have the first ever attempt.
There's no way.
At the triple.
There's no... I don't think the logistics behind this, and also who they're going to pick. Because here's the thing is, are you going to have a driver sit out of a GP? Like, that, you have to keep that in mind. You either have to have a current driver racing or another driver, like, come in and like, the only driver that I think could possibly do this, I mean, it would have to almost be, I don't want to say an American team, but I mean, it would have to be...
I think McLaren could pull it off.
Lando or Oscar?
Lando or Oscar. They run Canada. They then They then go and
I don't want to know.
So, okay. They run Canada.
Okay.
They would have to start in the middle of the race in Indianapolis.
Uh-huh.
For this to be somewhat logistically good.
Yeah.
Then through a Chevy team, through McLaren and Chevy, because Zach Brown has shown interest in possibly entering a car into the Daytona 500, why not the Coke 600? It's a crown jewel race.
Yeah, I mean, I think for the Formula One to NASCAR one, it could work. Also, would love to see Lewis Hamilton try to run the Indy 500. Absolutely.
He's already said he's not going to do that.
I know. I just wish he would. I wish he would. It'd be cool.
I wish he would too. I wish all Formula One drivers would run an oval race
and just see what it's like. Yeah,
just to see what it's like. But Lewis Hamilton's not going to do it. Verstappen's not going to do it. Well, I stand corrected. We did have something come out earlier about Verstappen possibly doing it. But yeah.
Yeah, I don't either. I think it's not going to happen, but it's cool. I think, I just want to see good racing on this day. Monaco, while it's historic, it doesn't produce the best racing. Now, could it in the future? We don't know. We don't know what the regs are going to look like. But what I do know for sure is we have Austria coming up next week. That's Spa, the Austrian GP. And that is going to be one where I'm very excited. I absolutely love.
We do have one more thing to talk about with the 2026 schedule real quick.
Yes.
We have a new race on the calendar.
Oh, yeah, Madrid.
Madrid street race, which I think will be a very fun and exciting race. New track, which is always exciting in any form of racing, NASCAR, Formula One, IndyCar, any of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm stoked. I mean, it sucks that Imola went away, but again, a new track. I love seeing sports try something new, invest into a new project, go to somewhere that I haven't been before, see what happens. Also, the Canadian GP has been, will have a new contract. It'll be going until 2035. So we have the Canadian GP for the next 10 years. And that probably will not change the date on Memorial Day. So either way.
Yeah. Well, real quick, before we get into NASCAR, let's get into our local racing report.
Let's do it.
This week, we are headed to Lincoln County Speedway in, I've already forgot, North Platte, Nebraska. So near Lincoln, Nebraska. And here are your top three. We have the IMCA Northern Sportsmen, the Warriors, the Mini Mods, the Dwarf Cars, IMCA Hobby Stock, IMCA Modifieds, IMCA Sports Compacts, and IMCA Stock Cars. Here's your top three from each. Starting fourth, finished third in the IMCA Northern Sports Mods was the 24 of Douglas Beeman. Started seventh, finished second in the number 11, Joseph Cooper, and started eighth, finishing with the IMCA Northern Sports Mod Modified Sports Mod win, my bad, the 88J Jacob Olmstead. Let's see. Let's go to the Warriors, which I believe is their front wheel. Oh, shoot. Wrong button. There we go. Warriors. Started fourth, finished third in the number 29E. Jacob Schmidt started first, finished second, the number 4, Mike Earl. And started second, came home with the Warriors A main win in the number 50, Craig Smith. Now to our mini mods. Mini mods started second, finished third, the number 22, Jay Bryce Jones. Started fourth, finished second, the number 2, Derek Swan. And started third, came home with the mini mods feature win, the number 15S, Duncan Shaw from Colorado. Now for our dwarf cars. Not really legend cars, but I'll take it. Started fourth, finished third in the number 3 machine, Brad Bain. And we had maybe some brothers. They're related at some point, but finishing third, coming home second, the number 89R, Dale Welch. And started first, finished fourth in the dwarf A main, and the number 88R, Keith Welch. So congrats to them from Greeley, Colorado. IMCA Hobby Stocks. Started second, finished third in the number 48H, Carson Hangsman. Started seventh, finished second in the number 8B, Braden Heisler. And started 10th, came home with the IMCA Hobby Stock feature win, the number 98, Zach Olmstead. A lot of Colorado guys coming down the race here. IMCA Modifieds. I do like me some Modifieds. Started third, finished third in the number 12A, Aiden Steffens. Started fourth, finished second, the number 201, Bryden Clough. And started second, finished first, the number 4P, David Pedersen. Now for the IMCA Sport Compacts. They only had 2 cars. Started second, finished second, the number 1N, Nathan Volbrach. And started first, finished first in the IMCA Sport Compact feature, number 29E, Jacob Schmid. Now for our IMCA stock cars. Started sixth, finished third in the number 6J, DJ Banks. Started second, finished second, the number 73L. Lane Bellum. And started first, came home with the IMCA stock car feature win, the number 72H, Jim Hagan. If you would like your local short track shouted out on the Flag to Flag podcast, email flagtoflag10@gmail.com or hit us up on any of our social media platforms. Listen out for those at the end of the episode. Make sure you go out to your local short track this weekend and bring a friend. This week's Flag to Flag at the track will be West End Quarter Midget Association for round 2 of the NASCAR Youth Series Dirt Championship in Gilbert, Pennsylvania. I hit the road for that tomorrow, which is very exciting. And then on Monday and Tuesday, I will be in Charlotte, Concord, North Carolina at Charlotte Motor Speedway for round 4, week 3, round 4 of the 2025 Cookout Summer Shootout at Charlotte Motor Speedway. I'll be working on some cars there. And yeah, I'm super excited.
Very nice. Very, very nice.
Absolutely. Let's get on to NASCAR now.
Yeah, let's chug this out. So, NASCAR in Mexico City. NASCAR Mexico City. We got to chat about this. So, looking at this race and looking at how this race played out overall, I thought it was great. I thought it was a great race. I want them to go back. I think that there was a lot of action. The Prime broadcast was great. The strategy with the rain, with no rain, with the slicks versus the wets, with the beating and banging. It was literally a mix of road course racing and the best of oval racing came together, had a child, and this is Mexico City. And Shane Van Gisbergen just whooped the field. Yeah. So I have a question for you, Chad. Mm-hmm. Do you think Shane should be in the playoffs? Or the question really is, do you think a driver 33rd in the standings should be able to make it into the playoffs?
Yes, I do.
Why?
Because it's how the playoffs are structured. It's how it says it: win and you're in. The whole slogan of the thing: win and you're in, regardless of points. All right.
So you're just going purely off of this is what the rules say. I'm going to play within the rules and don't hate the player, hate the game.
Yes, exactly. All right. As long as they're a full-time driver, they make it into the playoffs. Yep. Shane Van Gisbergen this season is a full-time driver in the NASCAR Cup Series. He got a win, a deserving win.
Dude,
15 seconds?
Kicked ass, 16 and a half, I think. Yeah.
16 and a half seconds he won by. That's a massive margin, especially in NASCAR. Second largest margin since the year 2000.
Yeah. And so this raises another question. Do you think this has any comparison to Harrison Burton winning last year at Daytona? Can you compare the two? Why?
Well, one, it was at Daytona. Harrison Burton won at Daytona. Anyone can win at Daytona. Let's be honest. All right? Yes, you can run super speedways for a while. You can learn how to run super speedways. You can learn how to work with the draft. You can learn how to work. But at the end of the day, the big one's going to be there. And if you don't survive and you're there at the end, you get it done. That's what happened with Harrison Burton. With this, Shane Van Gisbergen, a former Australian supercar champion, all right, who knows what he's doing on these road courses, all right? We saw it in Chicagoland. Never been in a NASCAR, never been in a stock car before, all right? Goes out there, first race in the rain in a 2-ton brick of a race car, wins the damn thing.
Yeah.
All right? Almost got it done at Watkins Glen last year. Now, he's had more consistent time. He still has a little bit of work to do on the ovals. But he got to win, and he's in. We have 2 road courses. All he has to do is rack up consistent finishes, do good at the road courses. We could see him make a late playoff run. There's not a doubt in my mind about that. Do it now, but that's also the beauty of the playoffs and the beauty of NASCAR. Anything can happen.
Literally. Like, man, and here's a thing about this whole situation is there's a lot of people that have, in my comments specifically, that are like, he's not in the playoffs yet. There's 10 races to go. He's not in the playoffs yet. You can't say that he's in. And I'm like,
want a race?
I was like, okay, so theoretically, I guess you could say that nobody really is in if you have less than a win. I guess
we're going to have 10 different race winners in this time.
No, because you know how many road courses we have in the next 10 races? 2. Shit, yeah. 2. We got the Glen and we have Chicago. 2 races that Shane could literally just put on a clinic again. And one thing I want to break this down, because I think this is really important for context when it comes to Shane, because you say he's not good on ovals. I will agree. He's not the best. But when you take out super speedways, take out any non-playoff point races and all the road courses and look at his oval finishes, Phoenix, I'm going to go first number is where he started, second number is where he finished. Phoenix started 29th, finished 31st. Vegas, 28th, 34th. Homestead Miami Speedway, 35, 32nd. Martinsville, 33rd, 34th. But then notice this, though. Wait.
Okay.
Once Darlington hit, there was a bit of a switch. Started 36th, finished 20th. Now, Bristol, 36th to 38th. That's a completely different beast. Texas Motor Speedway gained 15 spots, 37th to 22nd. Kansas gained 14 spots, 34th to 20th. North Wilkesboro, throwing that one out of there. Charlotte Motor Speedway, 30th in the Coke 600 to 14th. Nashville faded 2 spots, 23rd to 25th. Then Michigan, 26th to 18th. This dude's been racking up top 20 finishes at Darlington, at the Coke 600, at tracks that have attrition but also require a lot of skill.
You can't win a championship off of top 20 finishes, though.
Correct. I'm just showing you that he has been proved off of ovals, or on ovals
That is true, but we're going to need to see something more than a top 20 finish to advance to the next round of the playoffs.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
If he goes into the playoffs, all right, he's going to have consistent top 10 finishes minimum and then shine at road courses to make a deep run.
Absolutely. And I think this is going to be interesting because the first 3 races, the playoffs, are Darlington, where he got a top 20. You got Worldwide Tech, that, I don't know, and then Bristol. I think that could be his biggest, the kryptonite that, could be Bristol. But Darlington, if he pulls out a good finish, he may be able to do something. Because if you go to the next round, he could win the Roval, and then he goes into the round of 8. And in the round of 8, just imagine what people would say if he pulls out like a win at Talladega. Imagine Shane Van Gisbergen winning at Talladega, Chad, in the playoffs. You would see people riot.
I can imagine Shane Van Gisbergen getting out of his car in rural Alabama. That was gnarly, wasn't it?
That was a gnarly one.
Oh my god.
Just
Yeah,
beers thrown at him. It's just Jeff Gordon again.
Beers, everything's getting thrown at him. Yeah, but what is it? There was a lot of talk about the race in Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of negativity that kind of got pushed to the side by NASCAR, but there were some pretty opinionated people. I think I sent this to our group chat. What's his name? What was his name? Noah Gragson. 2 hours before the race started. Negative 125 odds. I don't poop myself today in the race. Don't drink the tap water. Pinned location, Mexico City, Mexico.
So bad. So bad.
Next one, it's a photo of a bunch of like Pepto-Bismol and all that other, and it just says fingers crossed. But then we go to Twitter or X or whatever the hell it is.
Oh, we've lost Chad. We have lost Chad. Chad has disappeared. Don't know where Chad is. Well, I'll continue just a little bit here. This weekend is Pocono. It's the Great American Getaway 400 presented by visitpa.com. And it looks like it's going to be a 160-lap 400-mile race, and I think you are going to look at a couple drivers here as we continue this chat about NASCAR, Mexico City. Love the race. But until Chad comes back, let's talk about Pocono. You got all three series running this weekend, the Trucks, Xfinity, and Cup at Pocono. Should be a great weekend of racing there. And I think you have a great shot at looking at Denny Hamlin getting another victory. Just had a kid. I think he's in a prime spot. Yeah, Chad, podcast. Oh, man, that's unfortunate. He left the podcast. If you don't see this, so if you're watching on YouTube, he has disappeared. But either way, this race is going to be a very interesting one when it comes to what specifically. Oh, am I getting a message from Chad? This is live, folks. Am I getting a message from Chad? What in the heck happened? Don't know what happened to Chad. Chad has just gone. Okay. Either way, I haven't got a message or anything from him. But we're going to talk about Pocono, and I think that Denny Hamlin could get it done this weekend. That's going to be my pick to win in Pocono. So Denny Hamlin in Pocono, Alex Palou in the good old state of Wisconsin winning up there in Road America. And so after that, we have the Echo Park Speedway race. That is the old Atlanta Motor Speedway, or I guess the new Atlanta Motor Speedway. Quaker State 400. That is going on June 28th. And so this weekend of racing, you want to pay attention to a couple things going on. You have the 24 hours at the Nürburgring going on starting on Saturday. It's a Sunday about 9 a.m. Then you have the IndyCar race that's going on. Oh, it says Chad. Oh, is he back? Is he back? Is he back? Okay. I hear sounds. Hello.
Okay.
I can see you. I can hear. I can't see you. I can hear you.
I don't know what you were talking about. My computer died.
Oh, of course.
So now I'm on my desktop. However, I cannot find the cord that plugs in to make it so you can see me as my wonderful girlfriend is looking for it.
Well,
you found it.
Oh, we have found the cord. Can the cord plug in? That's the question. Can we get this plugged in? I was talking about Pocono, Chad.
You were? Okay, that's good. That one doesn't work. That one doesn't.
Oh, no. It all went silent now. It all went silent. Well, we may have lost Chad yet again. To continue, we have all three series running this weekend. It should be a great weekend of racing. Pocono is a very fun track, very flat. Curious to see how drivers like Ryan Blaney are going to do. Is he back? Oh, I hear sounds.
Whoa. Can you... Hello?
Hello?
Hold on. Let me see if my camera's on.
I cannot hear you.
Give me a second. I'm gonna
leave. Or I cannot see you, rather. Oh, no, he is gone now. You got Craftsman Truck Series on Friday at 5 p.m. Pocono on Saturday, Xfinity Series at 3:30. Then the Cup Series race from Pocono at 2 p.m. on Prime. The last race on Prime. I wish that they would do more races on Prime, but, you know, we're going to go into the summer slate of things.
Hello.
Do we have a video? We do have a video. Oh my gosh.
Hello.
Wow. So this is an interesting one. So
I'm gonna hold it like this. Okay, I'm gonna hold it like this for the remainder of the episode.
Okay, so really, I was just giving a recap of all 3 series are going to be in Pocono this weekend.
Yes, they are.
Going to be a great race. I already gave my pick. I'm going to say what it is after you tell me yours. Who is your pick for this weekend in Pocono for the Cup Series?
It's hard to not look at someone like Denny Hamlin. However, he just had a kid.
I'd be betting the farm on Denny Hamlin. He's got to pay for that kid, son.
Oh,
he's got to pay for that kid.
He's got Michael Jordan money. He's fine. I do not know. I do not know. You know what? I'm gonna go Hamlin. I'm gonna go Hamlin on this one. He's shown that he can perform here, and yeah, I'm gonna go Hamlin.
Yeah, I picked Hamlin too.
Yeah.
I picked Hamlin too. I think he's just too good. I think that week off is gonna be a good one. But either way,
I will possibly be at the Friday and Saturday Truck and Xfinity race. I will not be at the Sunday race because I will be driving to Charlotte. But
okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, it'll be fun to see. Maybe should be some good racing in the trucks and the Xfinity. Oh my gosh, they've been putting out shows. But either way, I don't know, Chad. You want to wrap up the episode now that you're having to manually hold your camera?
I feel like I'm back in my vlogging days.
Yeah. Hey, what's up, fam?
What's up, guy?
What's up, guys? Either way, yeah, you want to wrap it up? Cool. We'll wrap this up. All right. Well, this is the end of episode. I believe it's 43. If it's not, then insert whatever episode it actually is in there, but it might be 43, the Richard Petty episode here on the Flag to Flag podcast. We appreciate everybody for tuning in. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe on YouTube, subscribe, and like on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcast. And make sure to follow us on @Flag to Flag podcast on all social channels except for Instagram. It is @Flag to Flag _podcast. And I don't have my flags again. Dang it, Chad. I am so sorry. Next episode, I will wave a flag. I will wave a flag.
Do you have a checkered flag now?
No, I have a pin. I don't have anything. I have Michael Scott. I'll just wave Michael Scott, the world's greatest boss, world's best boss. Michael Scott says goodbye. And Dwight, I can't say that here. That's family friendly. Anyways, we will see you next week.
Peace.